All right, let's dive in. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most vital yet invisible systems in our world, the supply chain. We're going to follow the secret journey of a product to see how this incredibly complex dance of modern commerce actually works. I mean, just think about it. The phone in your hand, the headphones you're wearing, or even the coffee you might be drinking. It seems so simple, right? But its journey to you was this epic, hidden global ballet of planning, production, and logistics. So how did it really get here? So at its heart, a supply chain is really the entire A to Z process. We're talking from the very beginning, the raw materials pulled from the earth, all the way through factories, warehouses, and retailers until it finally lands in your hands. Every single step is a crucial link in that chain.
Now, a journey this complicated doesn't just happen by accident. No way. It all starts with a plan, a kind of master blueprint. This isn't just about making a thing. It's about designing a strategy to make that thing a winner out in the marketplace.
And right from the get-go, companies face this fundamental choice. Are you going to pursue cost leadership, like Walmart, where your entire supply chain is engineered for one thing, insane efficiency to get the lowest possible prices? Or do you go for differentiation, like Apple, and design your supply chain to create a unique premium product that people will happily pay more for? This single decision, right here, sets the stage for everything else.
So, you've got this big picture strategy. How do you actually make it happen day to day? Well, the answer is a process called Sales and Operations Planning, or S&OP. You can think of it as the company's central nervous system, where the sales team, the marketing folks, and the operations people all get in a room and agree on one single unified game plan.
And this is absolutely happening in the real world. Samsung uses S&OP to make sure they don't have way too many, or worse, way too few phones during a holiday rush. Coca-Cola uses it to sync up their bottling plants with their huge advertising campaigns. And for a company like Nike, it's how they decide which new sneaker lines to really bet on. It's the operational heartbeat that keeps the whole company marching to the same beat. Okay, so the master plan is locked in. Now it's time to start gathering all the pieces. This whole phase is about figuring out exactly what materials you need and, just as critical, where on earth you're going to get them from.
But hang on. Before you can even think about ordering parts, you have to answer the million-dollar question, right? How many of these things are people actually going to buy? That's demand forecasting. It's part science, part dark art, where companies do their best to predict the future.
And companies have a whole toolkit for this crystal ball gazing. If you're Apple launching a totally new iPhone, you've no past sales to look at, so you have to lean on qualitative methods. Expert opinions, market research. But for a predictable product, Coca-Cola can just use quantitative data, looking at sales from last summer to predict this summer. And then you have causal models, which Nike might use, because they know a huge event like the Olympics is going to cause a spike in shoe sales. Once you've got that magic number, let's say you forecasted 1 million phones, the next step is to break that down into an actual shopping list. That's where a system called Material Requirements Planning, or MRP, takes over. It's like a super smart computer brain that translates 1 million phones into a hyper-detailed list of every single screw, every chip, and every screen you need, and tells you exactly when to order it. But top-tier sourcing these days isn't just about finding the absolute cheapest parts. It's about building deep, long-term, collaborative relationships. Toyota is the poster child for this. They work with their suppliers for years, almost like they're part of the same team, constantly improving quality and efficiency together. It's a true partnership, not just a one-off transaction.
The plan is set, the pieces are on their way. Now we head to where the real magic happens, the factory floor. This is where all those individual components finally come together to become an actual product.
The factory floor doesn't run on chaos. It runs on a super precise rhythm, almost like a domino effect. It all kicks off with the master schedule, which sets the production targets for the day or week. That signal triggers the MRP system to make sure all the parts are lined up and ready. Then capacity planning confirms the machines are running and the people are in place. And only then, when every single piece of the puzzle is ready, does the assembly line roar to life. This relentless drive for efficiency, especially for those companies chasing cost leadership, is often powered by a philosophy called just-in-time, or JIT.
Toyota pioneered it, and the idea is simple but totally revolutionary. Instead of having mountains of parts sitting in a warehouse collecting dust, materials arrive at the assembly line exactly when they're needed. Not a minute sooner, not a minute later. It just slashes waste and inventory costs.
Okay, so making things efficiently is one thing, but you also have to make them well. This quote just nails the challenge perfectly. How do you guarantee that the millionth product off the line is just as perfect as the very first one? To crack that nut, the best companies build a deep culture of quality. Ford, for example, uses total quality management, which basically empowers every single employee on the line to be a quality inspector. General Electric was famous for championing Six Sigma, a super data-heavy method for hunting down and eliminating defects with statistical precision. And then you have global standards like ISO 9001, which provide a kind of universal playbook for quality that companies all over the world can follow. So, the product is built, it's tested, it's in the box. But believe me, its journey is far from over. Now comes the grand finale, the global dash. This is the high-stakes, fast-paced world of getting that box from the factory to your doorstep. And this part is a flat-out race against the clock. Speed and coordination are everything. You're trying to move millions of products from a factory on one side of the planet to stores and front porches on the other, all while juggling costs, customs, and crazy tight deadlines. To win this race, it's all about using the right tool for the job. Got a ton of stuff and you're not in a hurry? Put it on a boat. Need something there tomorrow? You're going to pay for air freight. And road and rail? Well, they connect all the dots in between. The masters of logistics, like FedEx, are constantly mixing and matching these modes, finding that perfect balance between speed and cost for every single shipment. And you know that awesome feeling when your online order shows up a day early? Ever wonder how they do that? The secret isn't magic. It's massive, strategically placed distribution centers. Giants like Amazon and Walmart don't ship everything from one central spot. No, they've already moved their inventory into warehouses all over the country. So when you click buy, the product is already pretty close by, just waiting for that short, final sprint to your door. So the package has been delivered. Journey's over, right? Well, not so fast. In a truly modern supply chain, the process keeps going long after the sale is made. It's all about measuring how you did and figuring out what happens next. The best companies are never satisfied. They are obsessed with data, constantly tracking key performance indicators, or KPIs, for everything from on-time delivery percentages to order accuracy. And they live by philosophies like Kaizen, the Japanese idea of continuous small improvements. It ensures the whole system gets a tiny bit smarter, a tiny bit faster, every single day. But what about when you return something, or when your gadget reaches the end of its life? That's where reverse logistics kicks in. It's the product's journey, but backwards. Companies like Apple and HP have these incredibly sophisticated programs to take back old products, see what can be refurbished, and responsibly recycle the rest. It's all about closing the loop. So there you have it, from a simple idea to a complex global journey, and even a journey back again. That's the secret life of a product. This incredible dance is always changing, always evolving, and as new tech like AI, the Internet of Things, and blockchain come online, promising to make everything even more connected and transparent, the real question is, what will the secret journey of our stuff look like tomorrow?